And if you do this enough times, they subconsciously start to see you as one of their peers. And that is because you sound exactly like them. Rich or wealthy individuals like to hang around other rich and wealthy individuals. Now, here's the sad part. Most people do not have a money problem. My guess is that you are a very dedicated, hardworking, committed individual at your place of work. But I have two questions for you. Number one, is your manager or whoever determines your pay level aware of just how valuable and talented you are? And number two, do you feel like you're being well compensated for the value that you add? When I started out in the corporate world, I used to think that I didn't have to be the loudest one in the room. I thought that management could see just how hard I worked, they could see my results, and that was enough. It took me years to learn this, but I finally clocked onto the fact that you need a personal brand. And what's more, you need to learn how to market it. Your personal brand is synonymous with your name. When people hear your name, what comes to mind? To put it another way, what are you the go-to person for? If nobody knows you, nobody will pay you. And far too many incredibly skilled individuals are stagnant in their careers because they are invisible. Meanwhile, less talented individuals are making 6 or more figures because they know how to get attention. Now, here's why this matters. In your career, if you're able to grab the right attention, that attention equals money. If people trust you, they are buying whatever you sell, whether that is your skills or a product. A strong brand can be the difference between opportunities coming to you versus you having to chase them. And you can leverage this strong personal brand in starting a business or getting a better job or even growing your influence. So here's how to develop it. Share valuable information consistently. LinkedIn, emails within your teams, newsletters or emails to clients, or social media, whatever platforms you use, start sharing valuable information. This is how people get to know who you are and build a relationship of trust with you over time. Take initiative. But don't just take initiative, make sure your bosses and your managers are well aware of it. Share your experience, your expertise, whatever makes you different. Share your story. Engage with others. Visibility comes from interactions and not just posting. In my experience, high income earners are rarely ever invisible. They are great at marketing themselves, be that in obvious or more subtle ways. So ask yourself, when people hear my name, what do they think about? If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jumoke and I retired from my 9-to-5 career in my 30s and now live off of my investments. On this channel, I talk about personal finance, investing, wealth creation, as well as self-improvement. If that sounds of interest to you, do not forget to click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos. Most people make bad decisions because they cannot separate noise from truth. Discernment is the ability to read between the lines, to spot scams, and to know who to trust. And this skill can be the difference between years of wasted time and money versus being a high income earner. Discernment is an underrated, powerful skill that can determine the quality of your life. It is the skill to discern which people you want to associate and spend your time with, which friends to be close to, choosing whether or not you want to work for a particular company or a particular boss, choosing who to make your spouse, choosing what deserves your time and attention, and very importantly, choosing what you do with your hard-earned income. Now, here is why discernment matters. We spend a significant part of our lives online, and the internet is increasingly becoming filled with bad advice and a lot of distraction. High income earners do not just take actions. More often than not, they take the right actions. And this skill can prevent you from making costly mistakes in business, investments, and ultimately in life. So here is how to develop discernment as a skill. Question everything. If it sounds too good to be true, in most cases, it probably is. Surround yourself with smart people. Your circle directly affects the way you reason. Learn from experience. Mistakes can be invaluable lessons if you analyze them properly. Have you noticed that rich people love to hang around other rich people? What a surprise. And you have probably heard this more times than you can count. You are an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And there is also another version of this saying, which is, show me your friends and I will show you your future. Whichever version you've heard, the message or the intent is the same. Audit the people around you. This is critical. Make sure that you are spending time with people who are in alignment with the life or the future that you want for yourself. And here's the harsh reality. You probably want to be spending time with people who are quote unquote better than you, because that raises your average. And auditing the people around you is a lifelong endeavor or skill, because there are individuals that you haven't met yet that will have a significant influence on your life. But see it this way. Who you spend the most time with will have a very high bearing on the future version of you that you become. When I understood that everything in life is sales, it changed the way I viewed and prepared for conversations. Whether you are pitching new ideas, or you are proposing to your partner, or even just trying to convince your friends where to eat this weekend, everything is a form of sales. When you start a business, in your eyes, you might have the most amazing product or service. And so you focus on what you're offering and how incredible your product or service is. But unfortunately, your audience and your potential customers do not care about an amazing product if it matters nothing to them. And so shifting the conversation towards how what you're proposing or selling will make their lives healthier, better, safer, easier, that is sales, and that is what people care about. So here is why it matters. The ability to sell, whether that is a product, a service, your skill, will often determine how much you make and how far you go in your career. Every successful entrepreneur or high income earner knows how to sell. Even the ones that sell nothing are seasoned at selling absolutely nothing. It is the skill that matters. You can study the psychology of sales. And there are some incredible resources out there. Books like Influence by Robert Cialdini, one of my favorites, an oldie but a goodie, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. There's also The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. Practice pitching, whether that is in business or just convincing a friend to try something new, and learn to handle objections, because the most persuasive people do not take no at face value. But don't be annoying about it. Know when to stop wasting your time and just simply move on. Have you ever read or seen something online that made you stop, click, and buy? I have, more times than I care to admit. That is copywriting, the art of learning to write, learning to use words to persuade and sell or win. Now, here is why it matters. The world is digital, so whether you are running an online business or freelancing or marketing yourself, I have discovered that great writing equals money. Companies will pay thousands and thousands for a single page of high converting text. So here's how, over the years, I have learned, and I'm still learning, how to cultivate this skill. I take time to study and listen to great copywriters like Buzama St. John, or if you're British and posh, Buzama St. John. Practice some form of daily writing, journaling, WhatsApp messages, emails, newsletters, social media posts, and do this with the singular focus or goal of persuasion. Several years ago, I got a life-changing offer in a different continent that stemmed from a LinkedIn message. And that showed me that if I ever was in doubt, there is some validity or a lot of validity to what experts say. Your network is your net worth. The right connections can shortcut your way to success faster than any skill alone. Take interest in other people, their lives, and their work. Most people are flattered when they believe that their lives are interesting enough for you to care about, or when they feel that there is wisdom or some sort of value that they can impart upon you. And the book I mentioned earlier, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, speaks on exactly this point. Now, here is why high-level networking matters. Opportunities come from people. The more valuable your network, the bigger your chances of success. And from personal experience, the best jobs, the best deals, the best collaborations are not posted online. They happen behind closed doors. Now, here is how to develop the skill of high-level networking. This first point is so important. Give value first. Help people before asking for anything. Like I said earlier, rich or wealthy individuals like to hang around other rich and wealthy individuals. The most influential people love to hang around other influential people. So if you are trying to break into that circle, you have to ask yourself, now this might sound harsh, but it's a brutal reality check that I think is necessary. What value do I bring to these individuals? Why would they want to be around me? And if you find yourself in a fortunate position to be around heavy hitters and you can't think of anything to immediately offer, one of the best lines to get people on your side is to say, let me know if I can ever be of help or assistance. You are gifting that individual a blank check for your time. In my experience, that offer alone is so invaluable, and it's what sets you apart from the crowd. Go where successful individuals are: conferences, events, WhatsApp groups, online communities, and so on. Stay in touch. These people are individuals just like yourself, and they want to feel that you're not just reaching out to them when you need something. If you need to set a reminder in your calendar to check in every quarter, every month, go ahead and do that, because it makes a huge difference, and they will feel, or they will know, that you're thinking about them beyond what it is they can offer you. Gravitas is that elusive quality of being taken seriously. It's a Roman concept of expressing dignity, seriousness, and importance. When you are speaking in a meeting or in a group setting, do people spontaneously just quieten down, they listen to you, and perhaps even take notes? If so, you have gravitas. And if not, you have an opportunity to increase your executive presence so your ideas and your thoughts are taken more seriously. And it's not about being the loudest or the most talkative in a meeting. For example, you might know of a relatively young or even shy individual who, when they speak, command a room. They've got CEOs and managers not only listening but taking notes. That is gravitas. And one way to learn gravitas is to ask something called power questions. These are the kind of questions or comments that very senior individuals and executives tend to ask or make. And if you do this enough times in front of CEOs and senior executives, they subconsciously start to see you as one of their peers. And that is because you sound exactly like them. If you don't understand money, you will always struggle with it. And to an extent, this is regardless of how much you earn. I know of a few high income earners that if they were to lose their jobs today, wouldn't be able to survive the next 3 months. Now, here's the sad part. Most people do not have a money problem. They have a spending and investing problem. And I've explained this concept in a separate video, which I will link here or here, that your salary will not make you wealthy. It will make you cash rich. For the majority of individuals, whether you are on a low, medium, or high income, what you do with your net income is what will ultimately determine your wealth experience. Here's why financial literacy matters. You can become a high income earner and still be broke if you don't know how to manage money. Wealth isn't just about income, it's about how you use it. And here's how to develop financial literacy. Take some time to at least learn the basics of personal finance. Now, beyond learning the basics and how to save, learn how to invest. Now, you want to learn how to budget like the wealthy. Prioritize assets and income over liabilities and expenses. And finally, learn how to exercise those financial muscles and stay disciplined. And just like that, my dear friends, we have come to the end of another video. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the notification bell so you do not miss any new videos from me. I'll see you in the next one. Look after yourselves. Bye for now.